From the other side of reality. Men say he's cool and he makes the women drool.
Oh, let's give it up, baby. Ooh. Well, no, kitties. And welcome to my 31 Days of Horror, where I, the demon, had a new horror movie from the 1st to the 31st. Today we're on day 4. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, head rush. New shades, look, look, look. Matches this. Yeah, those demon hunters can suck it. Yeah, I had to try to change my appearance a little bit. Hey, wait, you're kind of too far away from you. Don't you want to see me up close? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, I paid the $20. Come on now. So, hello, welcome to my 31 Days of Horror. And we're on day 4, and today I'm going to talk about 28 years later. What? Yeah. So 28 years later is a movie that takes place 28 years later. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Good night. Imagine. Yeah, get the F out of here. No, 28 years later is the movie part of the 28 days. Bloody hell. There we go. That's better. 28 days, kind of like franchise, I guess. So, what is 20? Okay, I'm going to give like a brief recap because this is like the third movie. There's like, first movie was 28 days later. Second movie is 28 weeks later. And of course, a lot of people will be like, okay, here comes 28 months. But they kind of skipped that and went to 28 years. So, what's this movie all about? Basically, as I said, I'm going to start a recap. I'll just be very quick. Okay, so 28 days later starts off with this environmental terrorist group that go to break into a lab in England. In this lab, they're subjecting this chimpanzee or monkey to these monitors of just horrific acts of violence, and they're all like this way, and the monkey's like looking at them like this. And when the terrorists break in, there's a scientist there, and they're going to release the chimpanzees or monkeys because that's what they feel they should do. But the guy, scientist, is like, don't do it because they're infected. And they're like, we're infected with rage. They don't listen. They let the monkey out. Monkey affects one person very quick. It's like super fast. By the time you say, hey, am I infected? Yes, you are, and you're infected. And then it just started spreading. And then 28 days later, after that initial attack, it shows Jim and some other people trying to survive in England because they're quarantined from the world because of all this rage virus. Now, I'm going to be that guy. Hello, I'm that guy who's going to tell you the difference between infected and zombies, because some people are going to say, oh, yeah, like they're zombies. No, they're not. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I've been talking to a lot of zombies, and they hate it. They hate it when people say that they're infected, say they're zombies, and zombies like say they're infected. No, we hate that crap. It's like telling someone from Australia or from New Zealand, or telling an American, telling a Canadian they're American, you know. Come on now. So, what is the difference? It's pretty simple. A zombie is someone that died and comes back to life and wants to kill people. That's basically the distinction. Infected, they're alive. They just get hit with the virus, which infects them. And with the zombie virus, it's insanely quick. If you get it in an arm, if they bite you, or if you get it in your mouth or your eyes, within like 10 seconds you're infected. And your eyes turn red, and you go, ah, like that. And you run like incredibly fast. Well, like you run. That's another difference too. Depending, because on some zombies, like The Walking Dead, the zombies, you know, are like walking. However, if you watch something like World War Z, they're like they're fucking hoofing it. So, I mean, you know, infected, they run, and it's scary as hell, because they're relentless. So, fast forward to the second movie, 28 weeks later. The world thinks, okay, the infection's gone now. We're going to try to repopulate England. So they brought some people over. They're overwatched by United States military to make sure in case someone gets infected, they'll take care of them. But unfortunately, as you can imagine, 28 weeks later, the infection starts again, and then boom, we're rolling. Now, the ending, spoiler alert, for 28 weeks later, is that you saw the zombies going into Europe. Boom, 28 years later, there's a text right at the beginning saying, okay, look, we stopped this shit from coming. Okay, so Europe pretty much shut it down before it got really bad, and they stopped it. However, England is effed. They're like there's no going back. So they pretty much quarantine it from the world. So if you're there, you're there. So boom, 28 years later, it shows basically a group of survivors, and they establish themselves on an island, which is pretty well protected, except for this lone pass, which is like a causeway, which gets covered with water when it's high tide, and that's their only means of getting to the mainland, basically. Which, ironically enough, the mainland being England, which is also an island, but we don't talk about that now. So, basically, it shows this father and son. It's the kid's turn to go to the mainland to do his thing to prove himself, and that's basically like the movie. Now, this movie is different from the other two, because the other two had a certain style to it. The pace was incredibly fast, and the infected seemed to be there constantly. This one here is a bit different, because, okay, it's 28 years later, so the survivors kind of know what to do. They're still infected on the island, and there's still some bad shit there, but we kind of know what to do when they show up. And they're sporadic all over the place. However, this movie, it's good. I enjoyed it. However, some people may not like it because there's a certain part where it gets kind of dramatic, and that could turn some people off. But I'm like, look, it's good, so if and this is, and the weird thing about this movie too is that this is also the beginning of another trilogy, which is odd because in the new year in January, the sequel to this movie is 28 years later, Bone Temple. So, in fact, looking at this is almost like looking at a first chapter of a 3-chapter book. And so you only read the first chapter. So, like I said, the ending of this movie is kind of jarring. You're like, what the F? But knowing that a sequel is coming, it kind of makes more sense. The movie itself, I enjoyed it. It's really good. I mean, you kind of see what life is like on it for people that are there and stuff. Because they're totally cut off. I mean, they're pretty much basically living like people had to live before there was technology, But they kind of have... it's kind of trippy. Like, for example, like they have a wheel to sharpen stuff, but instead of like a wheel, they use like a bicycle wheel. Stuff that's available to them to use, basically. But it's just really, I enjoyed it quite a bit. And the zombies. I mean, well, look at me. I just said zombies. Oh my God, Frank, no, Frank. I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry, bud. I didn't mean to say zombie. I meant to say infected. I know, man. I know that upsets you. Forgive me. Could you put that down? Thank you. God, zombies get so sensitive, man, I'm telling you. So the infected, they're there, and some of them kind of evolved a bit. So there's different kinds of infected. When you watch it, you'll know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely. I found it was really good. And like I said, it's a different pace from the other movies, and I think that's where it might lose some people, because the other movie, the pace in the first two movies are very fast and rapid because stuff's happening right away and stuff like that. This one here, it's not, there's stuff happening, but, like I said, there's some, like, slow parts, and it might bother some people. But like I said, I enjoyed it immensely, so check it out. Out of, Jeff. Yeah, come here, bud. Yeah, thank you. So the head of Jeff, out of 5 Jeff's heads, I give it, like, 3. And I know it's weird because I've actually watched something new this time and not old, but I don't know what else is in here. Imagine like bongo. Stop it, you're ruining everything. You're just ruining it. I opened the head of Jeff. Wait, well, actually, you should give Jeff a shake first. You imagine being like a cult thing? I got the cult guys doing this. I should do that. Get the cult guys to do this when I show up next time. Freak everybody out. Alright. I shook it. Sorry. Jeff gets like super sick when I do that. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Okay. Let's look at hide of Jeff and see what we got. Spin, spin goes the wheel. I have no idea what I'm going to see in here. Could be old, could be new. Piece of paper. I won $5,000. I wish. I have no idea what I'm going to see here. Ooh. Interesting, interesting. Ooh, Madman, 1981. Madman. That's what my girlfriend used to call me. You're a madman. Stop it, babe. I love you. So, Madman. That'll be the next one. Oh yeah. Here it comes. Ooh. So there you go, there, kitties. I'll see you tomorrow.